it's Mike and Diana. We're leprechauns, and we're going to come back to our full size. Having a lot of fun. You know, we all have a lot of things going on in our lives and a lot going on in our business. If you're busy, you're busy. And, you know, the important thing is to not be busy being busy, but to be busy doing productive activities. And so we're going to talk about those in a little bit today on one way to be productive. But we wanted you to know the Cherokee Association of Realtors, we know you serve our communities in so many ways. We protect private property rights and we elevate our profession. So happy St. Patrick's Day. If it's not actually the 17th, it's real close. Don't forget to wear your green. And just as a side note, in May, Diana may be doing this by herself because I'm going to be in Ireland from April 30th to May 14th. And so have a lot of fun. I've discovered I was adopted and I am not pure blood Hawaiian. It turns out I'm 96% Irish and Scottish. So we're going to go to Ireland and explore and have some fun. But enough about me. Let's talk about the market. In February, our median sales price dropped to $470,000 from $500,000. We've seen over the last 15 years several times when it dropped from January to February. I don't think this is going to be permanent. I think it's going to bounce right back up when we look at what's under contract for next month. But just so you know, this is temporary. All statistics is a snapshot at a moment. What we're looking for trends. And so if we saw next month and the month after it went to 469 and then 465, we would say we're in a trend.
Yeah.
When people are uncertain in our economy today with the tariffs and everything that's going on with the stock market crashing, people are going to expect a real estate recession to happen. Okay, so we need to remain positive, upbeat, and provide great information. So for this month, we're going to say, hey, the median price dropped in Cherokee County. That's more a factor of cheaper homes sold, more cheaper homes sold. And it's not uncommon for prices to drop from January to February. That's the message you want to give. Yeah. The number of sales, I was a little surprised. I thought our number of sales was going to drop. It did not drop. It stayed virtually constant with the last 2 years at 251, 257, and 258. Still way below our peak years of 2018, 2019, and 2020, and 2021, and 2022. You look at those. We had over 100 to 200 sales more per month. In fact, we're sort of back at 2012 to 2014 levels, and I think our population has grown significantly since then by 8 to 10%. So you would see these numbers should be up by 24, 25, just as a natural progression. So the high interest rates are discouraging buyers from buying and the lack of inventory also.
Yeah.
What's sort of fun, though, is looking at everything that's going on. Man, there's a lot going on. If you look, our median asking price is $584. Average asking price is $747. So average is you take everything, add it all up together, and divide by the number that's in there. The median is half is above, half is below. Most economists like to use the median number because if we have a property for $6 million and only one at 200,000,
that totally skews everything.
It skews everything. You are 100% correct. Under contract, the median is 532 or 529. That's why I think we're going to bounce back up next month because everything, the median price under contract is much higher than the 470 that we saw last month. But here's the 470 that's here. We had 258. Interestingly enough, when Diana came in this morning, I had done this report on
a couple days ago?
Yeah, the 10th on Monday or Tuesday. And today, what we discovered is that a bunch of listings had been entered, like under 300,000. In fact, one person, good going.
He's probably doing his lead gen activities.
ERA Sunrise agent. He took like 6 or 7 listings, all below 300,000. Those should sell like hotcakes. Yeah. But what we have is we have 724 detached homes on the market and 123 attached homes. 101 of the 857 were asking over $1 million.
I'm sorry, what?
101 out of 857. 13% of them are asking over $1 million. And we had 14 close over $1 million in February, and 26 are under contract. So we're going to see 12 to 14 close each of the next 2 months also. So it's amazing. The $1 million sale is not that unusual in Cherokee County any longer. So do that. In fact, what's going to be more unusual is the under $300,000 sales. And so I like numbers under 500,000, but over 400,000, we had 140 homes for sale. Under 400,000, but over 300,000, we had 74 homes for sale. And 300,000 or below, we had 28 homes for sale. Now, if you do your own searches, I should have gone like, 399, 900, and 401. So there may be some overlap in those. But of the homes under 300,000, 28 of them, 4 are modular homes. 10 are self-described. I showed Diana this. This is part of the reason why you all are so creative in describing needing major work. Bring your skill saw or opportunity to recreate the kitchen. So like that. And 11 are attached housing. And there's nothing wrong with attached housing. In fact, the first 2 houses I owned were townhouses. Yeah. And I was very, very happy there, and it helped me get into the game. But 2 were move-in ready, and those homes were 750 and 980 square feet. Oof. I said, Diana, why don't you buy this one? And she said, if I could get rid of my family, not that she wants to.
Not that I want to, just, it would be perfect for just me.
Yeah, 750 feet is almost a single, or a young couple. Mm-hmm. And that's, the first house I bought was 888 square feet, 2 bedrooms, a bath.
Mine was 876 square feet.
And a townhouse. And this is what I'm going to be talking about with our legislators, and I may ask for your help, is we need to build more 900 to 1,200 square foot homes and less 3,000 to 4,000 square foot homes, because first-time buyers or second-time buyers don't need all that space. We just don't, and that's making our homes unaffordable.
And those are the ones we have to get into the market, into real estate, because that's how they starting off at those younger ages.
Yeah. So if you were a buyer or you're working with a buyer, why buy real estate? Well, if you bought 15 years ago, the median price was 148, and today it's 500,000 or 470,000. This was the end of January. I do this once a year to look at this chart. But if you really look, where else could people, if you could buy at the exact right time, so 2024, 23, 22, 21, 20. So if you could buy somewhere in 2019 or 2020 and you put 20% down, so let's say you put 60,000 down, that's 60,000 down with principal payoff over 5 years and appreciation, you've turned that 60,000 probably into close to 300,000. I don't know where else you can do that. It's building, well, you can if you're an athlete. I was just looking, Marcus Mariota, who was the Heisman winning quarterback, he was a starter for a couple of years. He's a backup. He just signed a contract. The reason why I follow him is he grew up at the high school I went to. Aww. And I was in high school. He's much younger, but I know some of his uncles and aunties. And he just signed a contract yesterday with the Washington Commanders as a backup quarterback for $8 million. So,
wow,
professional athletes are still making a lot of money. Inventors are making a lot of money. People in the stock market are making a lot of money. And entertainers are making a lot of money. And I include the pro athletes sort of as entertainers because they're making entertainer type money. But the way the average American becomes a millionaire, buy real estate, hold on to it. The reason why I'm going to show you this is look at what people are paying for rent. The median rental price wasn't January, excuse me, I was supposed to change this to February, was $2,450 for a single family house and $2,217 for a condo or townhouse. The median asking prices were $2,800 and $2,500. These numbers do not reflect everything that's on the market. It's only the things that are in the FMLS, but they're a pretty good indicator that a buyer today needs to make about $81,000 to afford an average rent. I don't know school teachers that are on their own making this sort of money. So you need 2 incomes even to rent.
Well, yeah, not only that, but if 81.5 is their income, if they have any debts, I mean, they have to make even more money.
Yes, so if you have a car payment,
Credit cards,
college, school debt, everything else, you rapidly start seeing people need to have $120,000 or so a year to rent. So, another source, GAR Stats, the Georgia Association of Realtors, does some great things. They're a little hamstrung in that they have to look. They can't do it right away as quickly as I can. Sorry, my wife's calling me.
Hi, Donna.
I'm going to call her later. But they do have some interesting stats that you can share. The average time on the market has gone up to 64 days from 44 days. So if you really look at somewhere about June or July of last year, things started. The time on market started going up, which means when you take a listing, you're going to be married to this person for 3 to 4 months.
It's more than most marriages.
Yeah, yes. So more if you're a singer or a star. I saw somebody who's married for 5 months and
24 hours.
Yeah, there you go. But 64 days is time on market, and you have closing time, and you meet the people, and they don't get it on the market for a month. You're working with them. How do you have a communications plan for those 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months? Yeah. Okay, and this is the days on market. As you get higher price, the days go longer. So what I do, just to let you know, is I send 1 week a report from RPR, the Realtor showings. The next week I show what the showings were on Zillow, and I show them, hey, look, last week you've been on the market for another 7 days, and you had 1,400 views on Zillow, and we had 3 showings, and we had 600 showings on Realtor.com. They're not going to be able to tell you you're not doing your marketing. True. And that's what you want them to. You don't want them to come to you and say, we're going to go a different direction, because you didn't stay in touch with them. So stay in touch weekly. Diana, what do you do with your listings?
With my listings?
Yes.
Well, all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
Stuff and things.
Do you stay in touch with them on a weekly basis?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
So we have, depending, if we have an open house, then we recap on Monday after the open house. But typically we have conversations on Friday, and we have a recap of the week. We talk about plans and potential showings for the upcoming. But every week they're hearing from me. And sometimes when there's no updates and I let them know, I'll send them a text message. But I'm a pick up the phone, kind of call a person.
Yeah. And so, when you take the listing, explain to them you're going to stay in touch at least weekly. Average time on market is 64 days, so we're going to be talking to each other every week for a while now. And if we don't get an offer in those 64 days, what that means is we may have been overly optimistic on our pricing.
And they love that once a week, and don't ever feel like you're talking to them too much, because the second you don't talk to them, they're like, well, where they go? They're never here. They're not communicating.
They're talking to some other real estate agent at a kid's sporting event or at a cocktail party.
About you.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to, but enthusiastically they may say, hey, I can do a better job than somebody else can. Okay, then moving forward, when you're working with buyers, interest rates are at their new normal. Diana and I were at the state convention.
Yep.
And what did the national economist Lawrence Yun say about interest rates?
Where we are now is pretty much where we're going to be. He's like 6s are the new norms. If it's probably not even going to touch 5s, if anything. So
in October, he was saying we might get into the high 5s, but he says with all the uncertainty that we have, we'll be lucky to have 1, maybe 2 rate cuts this year, which would bring us down to the mid 6s.
Yeah.
And he says also it's unusual for the market not to follow the rate cuts and all that sort of thing. So prices are expected to continue to rise in our area, and the price to income ratio gap is increasing. It's harder to buy than ever. And then Diana had this brilliant phrase: when you're working with a buyer, it doesn't matter what it costs. What's the most important?
The most important thing is, does it make sense for them?
And how much down?
How much down, and how much can you afford?
So Diana has a very nice house with a huge basement of Halloween stuff. That's really cool. She's probably invested conservatively
a good bit.
Yeah, more than 5 figures in Halloween decorations. Mm-hmm. And I offered her $2 million for her house.
He did.
I did.
He did.
And she got a little excited. She said, $2 million. And I said, yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'll pay you $500 down. and I'll pay you $500 a month for $2 million divided by 5,000 is 4,000 months.
No.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter what the price is. It's how much down and how much per month, and talk in those terms with your buyers.
Yep.
One of the cool things we have is we have our general membership meeting coming up next Wednesday. If this goes out on Monday, it's going to be in 2 days.
Yep.
Diana's worked hard on this one.
So y'all, we have all the local leaders from our big major cities in Cherokee County. We've got our mayor from Woodstock. We've got the city managers from Canton, Holly Springs, and Ball Ground. And they're going to be talking about all kinds of growth and whatnot, what's happening in their city. We're going to have a moment to ask them questions as well. So I'm sure there are a lot of you that, have questions on what's going on in downtown Holly Springs, or, hey, what's going on with some of these potential or previous rent to neighborhoods. And so it's a great opportunity to hear what's going on in their particular cities, get involved in the local area, and just get to know them, because once you know your local leaders, then that's where the real change happens, is locally at the local level. And this is a great opportunity for y'all to introduce yourself, say hello, and go from there.
One of the things that came out last week was the National Association of Realtors new commercials.
Yes,
which
they're kind of funny.
like.
They're kind of funny.
I like a lot. So we're going to show you 2 of them right now. And there you go.
You could buy on your own. You could get a lender, get showings, get catfished, get more showings.
Sorry.
Technical
Get through all the paperwork, get an inspector. Nope, definitely not him. Yeah, Chuck will be good.
We have good vendors for inspectors, by the way.
Get into negotiations, get a stress rash, get to see a new side of your spouse, get a divorce. Just kidding. And finally, with the last breath you have, get ready to close. Or you could get an agent who is a realtor.
I like
with
this.
the expertise
They hug her.
to make home happen. You could buy on your own. You could get a lender, get viewings. Too small for a yoga studio, too big for a yoga studio, too much character. Get in your car and cry. Get back out there. Get a good one. Tons of natural lights and vibes. Get ready to make an offer. Wait, what the? Get your hopes destroyed by Chad, the aspiring DJ downstairs.
Chad,
Get into the fetal
aspiring
position. Or you could get an agent who is a realtor with the expertise and ethical training to help you find the best space for your business.
Aw, that was cute.
I do believe they have, 6 to 10 commercials coming out.
Yes,
over
the next
course of
few months.
And so be on the lookout. They've taken a little bit of humor along with a lot of what we do. And as always, I know we've gone a little long this month. We know you guys are the best. We're here to answer any questions. If you like what happened, let Diana know. And if you had any problems and say I made any mistakes, let me know. And we're thrilled to be immediate past president and current Empress
El Jefe.
El Jefe.
El Jefina.
on the board. Thanks, guys.